this morning we want to look at kings and globalists of the earth in 1 week rule. The kings of this earth, the globalists of this earth, they are fighting hard to do what? To rule the world, to control the world perpetually. As we have heard in the past messages, they didn't start today, they didn't start this time around. It has been on and on, right from the time of Assyria, Babylon, Medes and Persia, Greeks, and the Roman Empire. And even in these later days of Roman Empire, they are still on and on and on and on. They have been fighting. Apostle Paul revealed this to us in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, where he said they have been plotting, making this effort. Even the people of Thessalonians, they were asking, when will this be? When will this beast showcase himself? That they are hearing that the beast is about to emerge, about to come on board to do what? To take away, to deal with Israel, to annihilate Israel, because they realize that Assyrians have been a problem for Israel. And it was like bringing a pen. And when Apostle Paul noticed what was going on, he wrote them. He wrote them and told them what will be happening. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I read from verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Master YAHSHUA MESSIAH, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by the Spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Messiah is at hand. Because the coming in of the anti-Messiah, the coming in of the beast, is the coming back, or will cause Yahweh to bring back YAHSHUA in the earth. So when you hear the beast has emerged, you should know that YAHSHUA's return is almost at the door, because it will take just 1 week. 1 week reign or 1 week rule. That is what Yahweh allows or will allow the beast to use. The beast want to take over the world and rule the world perpetually, but Yahweh will just take or give him 1 week, and that 1 week is 7 years, according to the book of Daniel. Now, in verse 2, we read, let no man deceive you by any means, by that day shall not come, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he as Yah seated in the temple of Yah, showing himself that he is Yah. Now, he has made himself to be Yahweh. He has made himself to be, indeed, the interpretation of the English Bible says God. And in Hebrew it says Elohim. But he's putting himself in the position of Yahweh. That is what this beast want to do. Remember that this beast is working for Satan. It's a proxy of Satan. To do what? To achieve the objective of Satan to rule Israel and the rest of the world. The problem has been Israel. Whether Assyria, whether Babylon, whether Roman Empire, all of them have been fighting Israel. So the war is against Israel. We are going to see it clearly this morning. Just pay attention. You are going to grab and understand what has been going on from Genesis to Revelation. In a way, I will just do it as a summary for you to get the key of what is happening. Now, the beast will never emerge until Yahweh says so. Reading from that in verses 6 and 7, the Bible said, "And now ye know what withholds that he, the beast, might be revealed in his time." It is his own time. The time Yahweh appointed for him to be revealed, that is when he will be revealed. So the beast will never come based on his fights to come in. He's been fighting from the time of old, from Assyria to Roman Empire. He's been fighting. Remember the dream of Daniel in chapter 7, 8 up to 9, where he wanted to know what will be happening to Israel so that they return back to, the land of Jerusalem. The time had come. 70 years had reached. And they were not going back. And Daniel began to pray, seeking the face of Yahweh to tell him or guide him what was going on. And it was withheld. The prayer was withheld. Yahweh was not getting information about what he was requesting or praying Yahweh to help them to know. Who withheld the information? Who stopped the angel of Yahweh bringing the message to Daniel? It was the kings of Gracia, the princes of Gracia. They were confronting Angel Gabriel, bringing the message. Yahweh had to send Angel Michael to come and help Angel Gabriel to confront the princes of Persia, who were then standing against Israel not to go. So when Angel Michael came in, Gabriel moved swiftly to Daniel and told Daniel what has been going on and how Israel are going to go back home. But that wasn't even the only message. The main message is the message of these latter days. If you look at Daniel chapter 8, 9, 10, up to 11, even 12, it talked about latter days, the experiences Israelites are going to have against these nations. They're going to be dealt with by the Greeks, the kingdom of Greeks, then the kingdom of Roman Empire that will capture the power from Greeks. Then Israelites will be cut off from their land. Israelites will be thrown away. Then many things will be happening to them and they will almost be swept away. After receiving this instruction, Daniel was weeping, Daniel was weak, Daniel was sick. He couldn't even do his duties, but he mustered energy, he mustered strength. The angel said, "Don't worry, Daniel. You will go and rest. This vision or revelations you have, it has to be sealed until later days when it will be opened to Israel." Jeremiah said in that later days they will understand even what Daniel was speaking. They will understand all the messages, all the truth, and what will be falling onto them. Though those that are wise will understand. Not all. Because many that are after sin, going the way of sin, they will not understand. Now, we are in the latter days that the Bible spoke about. And today, the same kings and globalists that have been fighting Israel, with some members of Israelites joining them, because they do not join their confederacy, do not join their togetherness, do not join their union, do not join their crowd, because they are after the people of Yahweh. At the end of the day, these globalists are working hard today. Working hard. Now, we read something somewhere in that book of Acts of Apostles. The enemy is coming forth. The enemy is moving swiftly. And we are warned that we should not do anything to enter into deception. We should not allow ourselves to be swept away by deception that will be going on in these latter days. first and foremost of what the beast is going to use, Satan and the beast is going to use to deal with the people of Yahweh, is deception. Deception rolled from the first commandments of Yahweh within the 10 commandments down to the last portion of it. If you touch or cause anybody to be deceived in one of that commandments, he will be deceived in all of them. In Matthew 24 verse 4, Yahshua said, "Take heed lest no man deceive you." Before he began to explain to the disciples, the apostles, what will be happening in these latter days as it was revealed to Daniel. Deception was what the apostles were warning even the Israelites, the believers then, to guide against, so that they will not be swept away, particularly in these latter days. The irony of the whole thing is that Israelites are going to be cut off by the people within them, by their own brethren, are going to sell them out to the kings and globalists of the world, and they will be left in nakedness, in open, devouring environment. That is what is going on today. But that is not anything to be worried about, because Yahweh said, if you keep to my covenant commandments, even if the whole world gang up against you, he will secure you, he will protect you, he will defend you, he will ensure that he restores you back to the land. Talking about the deception before we move on, I want to show you something. Now, there is battle going on. There is battle going on. Let us look at what happened, in the time of Daniel. Daniel chapter 2. We have these two, we have this image that showcases about 4 kingdoms or 4 empires that will rule the earth. Before the 5th empire we take over. We have seen Babylon, what they did to Israel. The kingdom of Persia, Medes and Persia, what they did to Israel. Kingdom of Greece, what they did to Israel. Kingdom of Rome, what they did to Israel. And this letter, the divided nations of the Roman Empire, which have formed 2 legs. These 2 legs today stands as the Eastern Europe and the Western Europe. And they must reconfigure, they must come together in these latter days. Because they are all scattered here and there. They have to reconfigure and come together, forming what is called confederacy, taking the children of, some of the children of Shem and children of Ham. And who are these? The Roman Empire, as so to speak, is within the axis of Europe. You have the Eastern Europe, you have the Western Europe. It is out of the Europe the beast is going to come. But which part of the Europe? Is it the West? Is it the East? Wherever and however it will come. Now what you will understand here is that out of where this power is going to come out, there will be massive wave of deception. And that is the beginning. If you understand where the enemy began his fight against people of Israel, against people of Yahweh, then you'll be able to understand what is going on and how people are going to fall away, how people are going to be deceived. We are told in 2 Thessalonians that the falling away is going to come. And when this falling away has taken place completely, the beast will emerge. Now, right from the time of the apostles, they said the work of the false prophet, false Messiah has been on. Now, let's looking at this image, you can see that this image depicts all the Gentile world that have been after Israel. Now, the 5th one that is going to come to destroy these 4 nations. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. The last one is still part of the Roman Empire that has 2 legs. Now, Yahshua is going to cut off this power. Is the stone that was made without hand that is going to shatter the 2 feet of the image which Daniel saw, which he interpreted to Nebuchadnezzar, and that image will be shattered. And the whole empires of this world that have ruled from ancient time till today will be wiped out, and Yahshua will take over government. Let's read quickly Daniel to tell you what that image, the focus of that image has provided us, and which we must know so that we wouldn't be afraid, because there is a government that is coming that will take over the world, what is called this world government today. Daniel chapter 7, 26 and 27. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. This judgment is going to be sat in heaven. Yahweh is going to execute it. 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Obey YAHSHUA Messiah. All the whole world will obey him. Going back to Daniel chapter 2, then it was predicted, it was prophesied, it was written. Daniel chapter 2 verse 44. I read. And in the days of these kings, the globalists, the kings, shall the Elah, shall Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Remember, people talk about rapture, rapture, rapture. Where is rapture here? When Yahshua returns, he's returning to take the kingdom of this earth because it belongs to Yahweh. Adam lost it. So since then, it has been resting in the hands of Satan and the beasts of this world, the kings of this world, the globalists of this world. They have been, mismanaging it, and he is coming to take it over, or take it back, restore it for the Father, and he's going to call all his brethren. Yahshua is going to bring all his brethren back to the land, because he is the seed of Abraham, promised to Abraham. And because of him, the covenant in Genesis chapter 17 was made. Covenant of obedience. Genesis chapter 17 is covenant of obedience, covenant of circumcision. The mark is on the foreskin. That if you, children of Yahweh, continue to keep the covenant of Yahweh, the mark will be registered in your body. And as you continue to go along with what is written in the covenant, you'll be restored. You will be the possessor of the land. The land of Canaan will become your land. It will become the land of Israel. Today, that it has been named, it has been written. Jacob was changed to who? To Israel, and that depicts what the promise of that Yahweh made to Abraham. That Israel is going to own that land. From there, Yahshua is going to place or position his office, his headquarters, and he is going to rule the entire world from there with the saints. Revelation chapter 5 verse 10 and Revelation chapter 20 verse 6 talk so much about that. That the saints will join hands to rule the entire world with Yahshua. So we have seen that the government will begin immediately with Yahshua and the saints. He will not leave it to mankind like it was left with Adam, and Adam mismanaged it. Yahshua is going to start immediately and begin to reign and to teach the world how the covenant of Yahweh should be taken on board, should be, how it should be part of human life, so that at the end, the spirit of Yahweh will indwelling man, and men will begin to obey Yahweh as those angels in heaven obey the word of Yahweh. And that is why heaven is a wonderful, beautiful place, because there is obedience. Now, that is what Yahweh is planning to institute on earth: righteousness, holiness, peace all over, everywhere. He's going to reign on earth. Now, he said that he's not going to leave this earth that he's going to rescue unto the hands of other people or men, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. The kingdom of Yahushua will stand forever, and they will rule. Verse 45 says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Yah has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Who is the king mentioned here? Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel was interpreting this dream to Nebuchadnezzar, that in the later days, Yahushua is going to come to destroy from Babylon down to Roman Empire. He will shatter and take over the governance of the world. Now, listen to Isaiah to confirm what is said here. Because Isaiah said that he is going to come back and he is going to rule and govern the earth. Isaiah chapter 9, I read from verse 6 and 7. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Yah, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and the peace, there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David, and upon the kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of the host will perform this. So we've heard again that Yahushua is returning. He's come the first time. He was born like a child. He grew like any other man, and he had the spirit of Yahweh. And he taught his people. He taught all mankind that are listening today. He taught them and guided them in the way they should go, in the covenant that Yahweh made with humanity, that they should follow it. It is the covenant way. It's not religion. He wasn't into religion. He wasn't into Judaism. The time he came, Judaism was a religion. He came from Nazareth, the Nazarene. That way is called the Nazarene. The covenant way, those who keep the covenant of Yahweh. That is what Yahushua followed, preached, and handed to his disciples, his apostles, up to today. It's not religion. It's not Judaism. It's not Christianity. It's not Hinduism. It's not anything that is called human religion. No. It is based on the principle of the scriptures. It's based on the principle of the Bible. It's based on the principle that Yahweh commanded them right from Noah, Abraham, Moses, as they were returning from Egypt. It was given to them as Torah. And Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, which is called the law, the book of instruction, the book of covenant. And the summary of it is the 10 commandments. That is what is given to them. That anybody that followed that instruction, the law, the Torah given to Israel, and have faith in YAHSHUA MESSIAH, that person today automatically is an Israelite. That is the meaning of the name Israel today. Those that believe to do the word of Yahweh, the commandments of Yahweh, who do not rebel against what he commanded them, and who follow the Son, YAHSHUA Messiah, they are the people that are called the chosen race. They are called the peculiar people. They are called the treasure of Yahweh. They are indeed the priests, the royal priests of that matter of Yahweh. They are the people that the kings, the globalists, they don't want to hear. They don't want to know. They don't want them to belong. They want to override them. They want to cancel them. They want to destroy them. They want to annihilate them. But Yahweh stands for them forever. And Yahweh will fight for them. Now, this is what this image is all about. They have been ruling and ruling and ruling and ruling. Nebuchadnezzar was told what is going to happen in the latter days. And we are seeing it. Everything is happening. And everything is appearing exactly as was predicted. Now, the vision of the latter days, as was revealed to us, is found more so in the 7 seals. The core message of 7 seals is the 4 horsemen, the 7 trumpets, and the 3 woes. Those are the core messages that contain in the vision, which was revealed. Now, let us look at what is in these 4 horsemen. We are not going to treat the content of the 4 horsemen, the 7 trumpets, and the 3 woes. But we are going to look at the 4 horsemen in a quick glance, and to see particularly the first one, the one that comes in a white horse. What do you see? Or what is your understanding when the Bible says in Revelation chapter 6, verse 2, talks about the white horse, the one riding in a white horse. This is the 4 horsemen. Now, the one riding in the white horse, Revelation chapter 6, 1 to 2 there, says, unto the angel of the assembly of Ephesus write, these things says he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. It's YAHSHUA. The golden candlesticks are the assemblies, the 7 assemblies of YAHSHUA. And YAHSHUA is in their midst. He is in charge of these 7 assemblies. And he wrote his letter and gave to every one of them and told them what is going to happen to them then and to them even now. And if they do not keep to the commandment, it's all about the law of Yahweh. If they are not following that covenant way that he preached to them, they are going to be cut off. He's going to move away from them, and they will live in darkness. They will live controlled, ruled by the kings and the globalists of this world. It's only one plus another that escaped the hardness of heart, which engulfed all of them, and that was seen in Semina assembly and the assembly of Philadelphia. Now let's look at this verse 2. What is verse 2 telling us? Revelation chapter 2 verse 2. Revelation chapter 6 verse 2. I saw, and behold, a white horse. Now, when you see a white horse, as Bible has explained here, who do you think this white horse is referencing? Is it YAHSHUA the Messiah? No. Or the anti-Messiah? Yeah. Or who false prophet. Now, let me give you a picture. Because YAHSHUA knew what he was speaking here. He knew what he was pointing out. But to those who he called their attention and pointed this out, they are not seeing it. Papacy is headed by Pope. That is an office. We are not saying any particular one that we know today is the anti-Messiah, or is the false prophet, or is the head of the false church. But if any of them is not going in accordance to the covenant or commandment of Yahweh, they fall in line with what is called false prophet or false, teacher, false anything. Now, he gave us a sign. He signposted how we will identify the one that is going to be doing the work of deception. That office is doing the work of deception. That office is making sure that people will not be in line, walking in accordance to the covenant commandments that came from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, down to the children of Israel till today. He will make sure that they are not there. He will even take away the truth and mutilate it, add, subtract, and reposition with their own, theology or with their own doctrine. And he gave a sign that he will come with a white horse. What is that white horse? In the midst of bishops, in the midst of kings of the earth, when he is with the kings of the earth or the globalists, watch out. This thing I'm telling you, or the Bible has pointed to us to watch out. Watch out. Each time you see Pope, what is he wearing? White garment. White. When nations or leaders of the world are with him, you will see leaders of nations wearing white, and he will be wearing white. No, only him wears white. They will be in any other color. He will be, particularly, they will be in black. All those leaders, when they are with him, watch them. That is what is signposting kind of, knowledge he's presented. That you should watch out for something like this, white horse. That is something pointing to us that this white horse is the carrier of deception. Because verse 2 is telling us simply about deception. He will come and do what? What is he coming to do? He that sat on him, that is the white horse, had a bow and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering. Conquering who? Israel. Call them church. Call them assembly. Israel. Israel is the assembly. Israel is the church, in quote. They call it church, but we call it assembly or congregation. That's the people of Yahweh. And to conquer, that was what he was given to do, to conquer them. What is he doing? Take away truth from them. It's even far powerful than any war machine, any bullet, any whatever. Once you take away truth from somebody, the person is finished. The kingdom, because it's all about how do you enter into the kingdom? How do you return back to Yahweh? Once the truth is taken away, the person is finished. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That is the target. If Satan knew that Adam and Eve had the truth, they were following Yahweh, who is the truth. Take away that truth from them, they will deny Yahweh. They will walk away and they will follow him. Because if you take away truth, what will be left is falsehood, is deception, is lies. So they follow that lies, the deceptive way, and they have been living, mankind have been living in that way up to today. Satan didn't leave anything for man to recover from the truth. including the name of Yahweh. So he began from the name of Yahweh. Take away the name of Yahweh. Take away the name of the Son. Then where is your faith? You can only worship mighty one. Can only worship a being if you know the name. If you know the name, then your faith will apply to that name. And we are told in the scriptures that in his name we'll be saved. There is no other name given to us. It didn't say names. There's only one name given to us. And he said in Joel chapter 2 verse 32, in the latter days, those that call upon the name of Yahweh shall be saved. Name. Faith. With your faith, you apply your faith, calling his name, you'll be saved. In these latter days, it is said in Acts chapter 4, verse 10 and 11, that YAHSHUA, verse 10 says, YAHSHUA MESSIAH is the name given to us, verse 12, under heaven, which will be called to be saved in these latter days. Acts 4, 10 and 12. No other name. It's all about name. In the name, you have your faith, or you find your faith. In the name, your faith is made solid. In the name, you do the work or the journey into the kingdom. So, Revelation chapter 6, 1 to 2, reveal to us the white horse, the rider, a warlike man, Look, do not be deceived. He is not going on the streets carrying gun or carrying ammunition or distributing ammunition. But he does it calmly, quietly, and with word, with guidance, with direction to those whom he's leading. They are producing the war machine. They are producing everything. Particularly the armies that go into what is called churches today, disseminating breaking of the covenant, breaking of the law. The 10 commandments, look at it from number 1 down to the 10th one. None of them is spared as we are speaking. They are all broken. Where is the Sabbath? Being replaced with Sunday. Where is his name? Replaced with Elohim, with God, with Lord, with Jesus, with Jehovah, and so on. It's only one name given to us. Where is that one name? Only that name saves. Every other title you may muster, you may give to him, because whatever we now give to him, whether it's in our language, we call his name or whatever, the old title, they are immaterial. What is material to him and us is his name. Where is that name? Do you know that name? There is a singular one name. If we don't know that name, the person is a goner. Now the identity is bow, that is pointed out. Another identity is crown, that was pointed out. Then what is he doing? Conquering. All his activities is to put down Israel, to make sure that they don't know the truth. You will know the truth will set you free. Where is the truth today? We are not preaching religion. We are not calling anybody to come and join us so that our religion will be expanded from North Pole to South Pole. No. We are only calling people to know the truth. Follow the truth. YAHSHUA is the truth. YAHSHUA will lead you to Yahweh. He said, all that the Father has given to me, no one will perish. The one that called is the Father. The Father gives the person to YAHSHUA. YAHSHUA prepares the heart of the person. The person will be baptized into the name of YAHSHUA. The person will be given the spirit of YAHSHUA, the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will give the person the fruits. The fruits will equip you to obey the covenant commandments. Then you'll be made aright. Your path will be renewed. You will now know the truth. Because when we receive his word, his covenant, his law, his commandment, his status, his decree, his regulations, when we walk by it, we will now have knowledge. Our knowledge comes from his word, not from our own mentality, not from our own mind, not from what we think or how we want to, exchange his word with whatever we think. No. It's him that gives us the gifts through the Spirit. Now, the target of the white horseman is Israel. Matthew 16, 18 to 19. Acts chapter 1, verse 11. Acts chapter 2, 1 to 7. The activities. What the enemy had designed is to put Israel down, and Israel is the focus, day in, day out. Who is the man in the white horse? We have now discovered who the the white horse man is. YAHSHUA forewarned about the man. Satan is using this white horseman, transforming into angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14. Satan is giving him, or has already even given him, his seat and authority to this man, so that he can do what? He can achieve his aim, his goals, and his objective. Revelation chapter 13 verse 2. Now, there is another one. The beast, the secular beast man, who is going to rule with his own law, the laws of Satan, to do what? To put everybody onto his feet. So there are going to be two beasts. The papacy beast and what? The secular beast. The secular beast is the reason this war, trouble, problem. There will be famine, there will be earthquake, there will be this, there will be that, and then there will be wars, and there will be chaos. And all of a sudden he will emerge and say, peace, 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 peace. And the whole world will pay attention to peace. And that will be it. Beneath the peace, there is war. There is annihilation. There is persecution. There is affliction. There is trouble. Then, from there on, for 7 years, he will carry on. The first 3.5 years, he will do what? He will rule with peace, quite all right. There will be worship, in the tabernacle or in the temple or in the synagogue or whatever format. Then, the last 3.5 years, he will go into that temple and put his seat there. It will be in Jerusalem. This will happen. And he will occupy there. He will sit there and he said, if you don't bow to me, you are finished. It's all about worship. Whatever struggle today going on is that Satan wants people to worship him. Read Revelation chapter 13, verses 1, 2, 3, particularly 2, 3 to 5. You will hear Satan preparing the beast, the secular beast, preparing him, giving him his power, his authority, to do what? To draw all men, to commandeer all men, to get all men to bow to him, including to stop them from work. Stop them, deny them access of life, so that they will be punished to the point they will run back to the beast and ask for food, ask for bread, ask for shelter, ask for money, ask for everything. They will make... Now, this is a warning. Yesterday, I was listening to the Spirit speak to me within my heart. He said, many that will perish in these latter days, that would have survived, that would have made it to the kingdom, will submit themselves because of hardship. They wouldn't want to face hardship. They wouldn't want to face suffering. They wouldn't want to face persecution. Therefore, they will say, why would we suffer? Why would we? Oh, in the midst of plenty, the beast has a lot. Oh, let us go and ask from the beast, and they will take whatever gift the beast is going to give. And that will be the trouble of the world. That will be the trouble of particularly Israel. And they will be caught up in that deception, in that trouble. Now, quickly, in papacy, you have two popes. You have the black pope, you have the white pope. The pope, now listen to what they wrote according to Evangelical Christendom, January 1, 1895, page 15. They wrote, from papacy, the pope is not simply the representative of Christ. On the contrary, he is Jesus Christ himself. Because they have presented Jesus to look as if he is the Messiah. Jesus here replaced YAHSHUA Messiah. So they have wired everybody to believe in that name, Jesus Christ, that he is the Messiah, and he is to be full. And people have believed, particularly the whole Christendom have believed in this name. They left the true name of the covenant one given to Israel, because everybody that must be saved must come back to Israel, return back to Israel, follow the covenant way that is given to Israel. So they laid him aside. It's part of the deception. The name is number one issue that the false prophet hammered, so that nobody will know the name or believe in the name or recognize the name. So here they use Jesus. And they said, because Jesus now has become the champion, the very Messiah. It says, he is Jesus Christ himself. That is, Pope is Jesus Christ himself. In this situation, I'm telling you, even when you are not mentioning Jesus or God, that Pope you see in Jesus. Since he's a representative of Jesus on earth, he is Jesus. Under the veil of the flesh, he is Jesus. Does the Pope speak? It is Jesus Christ who is speaking. Hence, when anyone speaks of the Pope, it is not necessary to examine but to obey. You know what I'm saying? When anybody is, when you hear Pope speaking, believing that is the Messiah that is speaking, now they're not done. Now the white horseman, the man that come in the horse beast, which takes white color. Now, who is the man in the white horse? Another Messiah. Remember, Matthew 24, 4-5 and verse 24 told us, Yahshua made everything clear that one is coming. Matthew chapter 16, verse 18 said, another will come to complete this office, assembly. He will come to take and position himself, and that is this white horseman, papacy. Now, who is he? He preaches another. He is the one that preaches another gospel. Apostle Paul warned us about another gospel. Galatians chapter 1 verse 8. Junior, help us quickly. Galatians chapter 1 verse 8. Another will come that will preach his gospel. It is the one that come in a white horse that preached another gospel. He took away the gospel of the covenant. The gospel that was preached to Israel. He took it away, brethren, and gave us a different gospel. So that we are born into this world of iniquity, into this world of sin, we believe a lie. Deception. Read it. Galatians 1 verse 8. Galatians 1:8.
But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other good news unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
Did you hear that? Another gospel will be preached to you. But be careful. Even the person, even if he says he's an angel, even if he said he's a leader, even if he said he's the best prophet, and preach to you, that person, if you listen to the person, because the person already is accursed. Anybody that breaks the covenant is accursed. The curse of Yahweh is upon him. So many never listened to the message or to the notice sounded. Now, this horseman, who is he? He is one that brought the deception himself, lies and the deceits. John chapter 8, verse 44. The author, the one that is the commandant, the general of deception, of lies, the one that institutes the power that is called the false prophet, the false teacher, the white horseman, the one that arranges and ordains it. Listen to what Yahshua revealed about him. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, He hates truth. He takes away truth. Because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, father of liars, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Did you hear that? Satan is the author, the masterminder, the one that regulates what this white horseman does for him. All his power, all his authority he gave to him. So he knows how to, tell you something else so that you don't believe the truth. Tells you lies and you believe. 1 Kings 13-18. And he said to him, I also am a prophet like you. And an angel spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, bring him back with you to your house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied to him. Even in the time of old, it was also going on. Satan was entering into such people, false prophets, and introduce lies, and people believe lies. This false prophet in 1 Kings 13:18 spoke lies and told his colleagues, I'm a prophet, bring him back. Because Yahweh has sent a prophet down to pass a message. And he said, when you go and pass this message, don't wait, don't eat, don't drink, run back home. When this false prophet heard, he said, no, go and bring him and tell him that I'm the senior prophet, that Yahweh has spoken to me and said, you should eat, you should drink. Then the prophet that was sent by Yahweh, he didn't hearken to the message, because when Yahweh says a thing, he doesn't change it. So he believed the senior false prophet that spoke a lie into his ears. He returned, then he ate, he drank. By the time he was going, animal ate him. Whether lion or something, ate him on the road. Because Yahweh said, if you disobey, you will die. False prophets cause men to die. Because they will take you away from the covenant, they will take you away from the commandment, they will take you away from the law. He is gate of hell. Matthew 16:18. This false prophet, the white horseman, he is called the gate of hell in Matthew 16:18. He is called a deceiver. He deceived the third part of angels. Revelation 12:4. The act of Satan made 1/3 of angels to fall. He is that great red dragon, Satan himself. Revelation chapter 12 verse 3. He deceives the whole world. Satan is the architect of that. The whole world today has been plunged into deception, into falsehood. They don't know the way of truth, as Satan doesn't know the way of truth. He hates truth. Tell them the truth today, they will argue from morning till night. And they want to prove it. With all their theology, with all their philosophy, with all their ways of lies, they want you to believe their lies. But if you know the word, they cannot deceive you. If you know the word, they cannot take you away. Now, he deceived the whole world. Revelation 12:9, he conquered the whole world. Revelation 13:3-4. And in this latter day, the whole world will fall onto his feet. But there are one small group of people, the little small Israelites, they will not fall onto his feet. They will not. They will not, because the covenant is important in their heart. They will keep it. Now, let us hear Pope Francis himself. Let's hear Pope Francis. Quran and the Holy Bible is one and the same thing. And he said, you cannot take the two away. You know, can you come on? Now, look at what he said. Remember, somewhere it has been said that that office, anyone that is occupying it, is representing Messiah of this world. That is Jesus Christ. That is their calculation and what they have proved. Now he is saying, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, because Jesus Christ is pointed out here is Pope. They have already established that Pope is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Jehovah, Allah, we are all children of God, regardless of the name we choose to address him by. Who is God? Yahweh does not answer God. That is what you have to take. If you are a covenant, if you are a scholar of covenant way of truth, you will know when they are mentioning these things, these words, you will know where they are and what they are telling you. Deception is everywhere. They are telling you that God is Yahweh in heaven. Yahweh is different from what they call God. Satan is the one that call himself God. Because in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, Paul explicitly told us that Satan is the god of this world that have blinded the eyes of men. To do what? He took them away from the gospel of the truth, from gospel of life, that they will believe error, that they will believe Satan, so that they will be damned. The Bible also calls him the ruler of this world. We call him the prince of the, in fact, YAHSHUA himself said that he is the prince of this world. So here we now take a note that what Pope is saying the name God, irrespective of what name they present, said they are one under that name. We can accomplish miraculous things in the world by merging our what? Faith, merging our belief, merging our ways of doing things. And the time for such a movement is now. What is it telling them? He's calling them to come together. Let us come together. What is Pope doing today? He's making peace with Christendom, with all the religions of the world, particularly the three pillars of religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. He's calling them and do what? Peace, 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 peace. Let us come together. Let us come together. Remember, he is the messenger that runs before the secular beast. He is working hard through religion to gather them, bring everybody together to agree. Then by the time he's done with this work, the whole world will confederate under one religion, because it's going to be Chrislam. That is their religion. This Pope is advocating now that we bind them together, that we unite them together. He is working hard towards that. No longer shall we slaughter our neighbors over differences in reference to their God. Do you hear what he's saying? Stop fighting yourself. Stop killing yourself. Let us come together. But who is the mastermind of killing and destroying? Hey, deception is what we've been discussing since. Deception. YAHSHUA said, run away from deception. There is one that is coming to present deception, bring deception, take deception to envelop everybody, cover everybody, and make everybody to be blinded against the word of Yahweh. And they will be swept away. So this is the agenda: to unite and control all assemblies all over the world, whether they're in Christendom or Judaism or Islam or Hinduism. Put them together, let them be one. They are one under one God. Is it true? We are called back, or we are being brought back to Yahweh, not Allah, not God, not Jesus, not any other, but Yahweh, through YAHSHUA MESSIAH. One world church is his agenda. One world church is working hard towards that. One world government at the end of the day, because that is what one world church is going to achieve for them. Now, worship of the beast is the ultimate. That is the goal. That is the goal of this white horse beast. Now, two churches exist: Assembly of YAHSHUA MESSIAH, which is the true assembly. Revelation chapter 12. Read it. You understand what the Bible is. If you have the right Bible. Assembly of the beasts. That is the church, so-called the church, that is calling all other religions so that they will merge together. which is called the first church. Revelation chapter 17. True assembly teach doctrine of Yahweh. John chapter 7, 16 to 17. True assembly teach truth and grace of Yahweh. John chapter 1 verse 17. True assembly teach laws of commandments. But the false church does not teach that. Rather, the false church twists doctrine of Yahweh to self. 1 John chapter 9 to 10. False church lies and teaches prosperity, grace the way. John chapter 8, 44. Matthew chapter 4, 4 to 10. False church or impure church teach hate. He teach, people to hate the law of Yahweh, the doctrine of Yahweh, the commandments of Yahweh. 2 Thessalonians 2, 2 to 12. Then if you know all this, what do? You still beckon yourself. Wherever I find myself, I will make it. Whichever assembly, whichever group I am, I will make it. It doesn't work that way. Yahweh hates those who hate him. Yahweh hates those who hate his instruction. Yahweh hates those who hate his covenant. Beast work to conquer true church. That is what he's working to achieve. Revelation 13, 3 to 4. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with this beast? Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 14, 8 to 11. We read. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yahweh have mentioned to us what he intends to do, how he's going to deal with anybody that deviates from the covenant way, because the beast is going to make people to worship him at the end of the day. And already from time, even before Yahshua came, in the wilderness we saw what happened. They turned the way of Yahweh to the way of Baal, the way of Elohim, mighty ones on this earth, the Jehovah of this world. And they made them Israelites. They commissioned themselves to worship who? Satan in the process. And Yahweh saw it, he was wroth. He cleared them. Because of what happened in the wilderness, he said, none of the people who participated in making the calf and bowing to the calf will enter the land of Canaan. The same thing is speaking today. All that says they are going to bow to the white horseman and the beastly secular leader that is going to, position themselves so that men will worship Satan. All that will worship Satan in the process are going to be crushed. So none of them will enter into the kingdom. None of them will see that land of Israel, where Yahshua is going to begin his government. We read it in the book of Daniel, where he's going to begin his government, and where he's going to ensure that everyone that has disapproved with what Yahweh is telling us today, is going to be completely swept away. Now, let's look at what is really going on. I don't know where I'm going to cover this because it's massive. Let's look at the conspiracy. Yahweh warned us, even in the Old Testament, concerning conspiracy. Conspiracy, which is part of this white horse activity, is going into the world, aligning religions Come, let us be one. We are under one God. We are under one, one Father. Whatever name you call him, it doesn't matter. It's immaterial. What is important is we are one under him. Who? Satan is the architect of what this white horseman is doing. It's not Yahweh. Yahweh is different. Yahweh has covenant way. And that is what Yahshua taught. And anybody that will follow Yahshua will be led to the Father and the true way to worship the true creator of heaven and earth. Or else, the person will be worshiping Satan. So there is alignment and there is a configuration or the configuration of the world. There is alignment. Two world is coming up now. Now that takes us to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis. I want to just try as much as possible to summarize this. But I will help you to understand where we are going. Two world is going on. In the Genesis, in the time of Genesis, we have three worlds. Yahweh created the earth. The first mankind that existed then before the flood. Now, they lived their own way, the way they liked. When they sinned, Yahweh said, their time is over. Because if you do not walk, following my way, following my covenant, you will perish. And they perished. Noah was saved, and his three sons. From these three sons, Yahweh carved out what is called nations of the world. He divided the world into three. One side was held by Japheth. The first son becomes Japheth. I thought Shem was the first son. Because Bible does say, it was twisted somehow. If you are not careful, you will think it is Shem. But it's immaterial, whether first or second or third. But what is important is the three sons of Noah. Japheth is given the northern part of the world. Now, Shem was given the middle, while Ham was given the south. Now, this has to be clarified. But something is going on now. There is this alignment and the realignment, what the Bible calls conspiracy, if you like, confederacy is going on now. They are binding themselves together. Some in the south is aligning themselves to the north. Some in the north are aligning themselves to the middle and the other. There's kind of reconfiguration that is going on. How Yahweh positioned it is no longer how it is going on. The Bible mentioned so much about these children. Let's go to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 10 in particular. There is references that we have pointed out. Verse 10, I read from verse 1 there. Chapter 10, I read from verse 1. So, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. Unto them sons were born after the flood. Now, who are these sons? Who are these sons? We read in Genesis chapter 25. Help me open to Deuteronomy 32, verse 8. If you open it, hold it. Let me read Genesis 10:25. There is something there. It said, and unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. Did you hear that? Where will you get this story? Because the Bible is like a summary. Go to the book of Jubilee, chapter 8. When you read it, you will find out how the world was divided. Japheth, how Japheth got the north, how Shem got the middle, and how Ham got the south. And went on and said, and his brother's name was Joktan. So Peleg and Joktan came from Eber. Remember, the Bible said Eber become Hebrew. And that was where Abraham was trained. Terah, the father of Abraham, because when Abraham saw, when he was born, he grew up, he discovered what his fathers was doing, that the father aligned to Nimrod. Nimrod was born of Cush. Nimrod was of the south. The Nimrod now conquered the entire world, so to speak, and Nimrod introduced his Baal, sun god worship, the Elohim. And from there, the whole of Israel began to go after the way of Elohim. Because that was what was associated to Yahweh, the mighty one, Elohim. But when Nimrod conquered all of them, he perpetuated himself. He made himself a mighty one, taking the position of Yahweh, making exactly what happened in the wilderness, what Nimrod did to the three sons. But Shem was only one that said no. Because what also happened in the wilderness wasn't all of them that tied themselves to that calf. There were some that said, our hand will not be there. Particularly the children of Levi and some others. That's why they were not all consumed. Only 3,000 were consumed. So, when this happened in the days of Nimrod, Nimrod became the pillar, became the champion. And they obeyed him. They followed and they worshipped not only Nimrod, what is her name? The wife of Nimrod. Semiramis. Semiramis, the wife, and the Tammuz, the son. All of them became God. God the Father, Nimrod, Semiramis, the Holy Spirit, or the mediatrix, called the mother, whatever. Then come the son. That is where the issue of pagan trinity infiltrated into the assembly, into the so-called church. And up to today, it became an issue to them. But we know the right thing, we know the truth, that Trinity is never given to us in the scriptures. It was indoctrination of Nimrod through his family. Then the Roman Empire, when they conquered the Greeks, they took it over. All of these has been coming from one empire to the other. Now, read for me that particular Deuteronomy 32:8. You are not there yet? Quickly, because we don't have time. Go on.
Deuteronomy 32:8.
Yeah.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bonds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Did you hear that? When Yahweh himself divided this earth into nations, he gave them those areas they had as their inheritance. Who were the people? Japheth, Shem, and Ham. They were the three sons of Noah that inherited the earth. And the earth was divided. Today, we have how many continents? 5 or 7 continents of the earth. They have reshaped and redivided and realigned themselves, reconfigured everything. So you can't easily say, this is where Japheth is, this is where Shem is, but you can know it. Through the scriptures, you can know it. Book of Ezekiel 38 talks so much about that. Gog and Magog and so on, which are the sons of Japheth, that is creating trouble today in the world, and others that join them. Now, I want to look at Acts chapter 17:26. Acts 17:26. It says, and has made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. Still confirming how Yahweh divided the nations and gave territories to these sons, and even boundaries, that they should not break the boundaries. Book of Jubilee says anyone that crisscross there will be a curse, and there will be punishment. There will be trouble. Today, what is happening? In fact, part of the problem of the earth today is go in communities, go in tribes. People are taking land from one another. And that is crisis. When Yahshua was in this earth, there were issue of one man that came, said, my brother has taken what belongs to us all. What the Father bequeathed to us has been taken by this guy. Can you come and divide the land for us? Yahshua said, who made me a divider? Who made me a ruler over you and your land and your property? That is not my duty. That is not what I come to do. We are not allowed to take away somebody's land. Occupy it. If you do it, it's a curse. The person will die. There is no two ways about it. And the nations, tribes, kindreds, ethnic groups, they are busy acquiring and taking over what belongs to others. Why war here and there? Nations are falling against nations. You know what Yahshua said in Matthew 24? There will be war here, there will be war there, there will be rumors of war, and so on and so forth. What are they doing? They are occupying, taking over what belongs to others. Trouble is coming. Trouble is coming. Because of human beings not paying attention to the word of Yahweh. There is massive deception. There is massive lies. I want to do justice to this topic. And I want to crave your indulgence to stop here. By next week, we are going to look at these three nations, how they are divided, and who have been encroaching into one another's territory, and what it has been resulted. Particularly now, there's now reconfiguration. Yahweh said, there shall be no conspiracy. There shall be no confederacy. There shall be no, binding yourselves with another. For instance, an Israelite will go and bind himself with others who do not fear him, who do not obey him. They are going to get the wrath of Yahweh. So, we are going to take time to untie most of all these things by next week. But this is what you have to take away from here now. From all that we have been reading since, particularly the Bible readings that we have laid out there, the relationship between you and Yahweh, where is it? Where is the call? We that are in assembly, we that are in the congregation of Yahweh, we are in the, fold of Yahshua. We that are called to embrace the covenant which others have rejected and thrown away. We are that are called to return back. What are you doing with the covenant? What are you doing with the... Are you just hearing? Are you just hearing? Remember that Yahweh is showing us signs in what is going to happen. You see, suddenly you see earthquake happen. You think it's just the natural occurrences of things around you. You see rain falling. Before you know it, they say it's flood. Before you know it, flood sweep everywhere. Before you know it, it's tsunami. Torrential flood will just sweep the land, sweep cities, sweep even a country. A little while, you just see fire everywhere. A little while, you see tornadoes sweeping houses, destroying, earthquake. And you don't think, wait a minute, where is this coming from? Why is it happening? Now, we see diseases, infirmities, pestilences. COVID-19, we saw it, 2019. Flowing from one end of the world, from north to south of the world. Cover the world. And yet we don't ask questions. And before you say, oh, let us rest a minute, war started. They began war. And nowadays, like they are cooling off from the war. They are beginning to sing another song of something they want to do. Because they are not tired. They fight like lion. But the Lion of the tribe of Judah is watching them. He's about to jump upon their heads. And they catch up with them. But the problem is, we that Yahweh is calling, What are we doing? With the relationship we have with him, that is a fearful thing that we don't even take a gaze at this relationship. We don't even ask ourselves, wait a minute, how do I go? How do I continue to tie myself, to bind myself with Yahshua? Now I give you few Bible passages. Read it on your own. Study it. It will help you in this journey. Deuteronomy chapter 4, 1 to 15. Deuteronomy 4, 1 to 15. We read Deuteronomy 4, 1 to 15 this morning. I don't know how many of us that paid attention. And I tried to emphasize a few things from them. Particularly, Exodus chapter 32. That Exodus chapter 32, 1 to end. Read it. Because it's a song. Do you know that Yahweh gave Moses that song to write? In 31, he was speaking to Moses. He said, these people are not following, are not taking after my instruction. I'm going to give you a song. And this song is going to be a witness against them. Because in the letter they will say, yes, Yahweh told us, but we walked away. It is the covenant. Yahweh said that we are going to walk away from my covenant. Write this song, Deuteronomy. Sorry, it's not Exodus 32. It's Deuteronomy 32. Write Deuteronomy 32. Put it in black and white. Put it down. It will last from generation to generation. They will read it in the letter that they will know what they have done to themselves. And curse is there. Even Deuteronomy 28, curse is there. Anybody that will depart from it will get serious curse. Anybody that will embrace it will get blessings. So, Yahweh is waiting. His word is going to come to pass. Deuteronomy chapter 1, 30 to 35 is very important for us to understand what Yahweh is calling us to do in this latter days. Exodus 19, 5 to 6, very, very important. Matthew 5, 19, absolutely important. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3, that is the key. And Yahshua said, Revelation chapter 1, verse 3 summarized all that have been calling out their sins. Let me read it for us. Let me read it for us. Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Very crucial. Blessed is he that reads, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. What is he saying? Blessed are they that read. Read what? The book of the covenant. You must read the book of the covenant. In Revelation chapter 1, he called it prophecy. Torah plus prophecy is the book of covenant. You must read it. You must hear it or listen to it. And you must do what? Keep it or do it. Those are the three factors that help us in this journey. Attach yourself to reading it. Keep yourself to hearing what you are reading. And make yourself available to do what you read and what you hear. That is the key. That summarizes all that. When we obey the voice of Yahweh, Yahweh puts the dread of us and the fear of us upon the nations of the world that are under the whole heaven. Do you hear that? When we fear, when we obey, when we listen to the voice of Yahweh, which is reading the word, listening to the word, and keeping or obeying the word, then what does Yahweh do? Yahweh put the dread of us and the fear of us upon the nations, upon the people that are under the whole heaven. Who shall hear report of you? What is the report of you people are hearing? What is the report of us people are hearing and they want to pay attention? When you walk in the covenant way of Yahweh, when you insist to do what Yahweh says, the instruction of Yahweh, not your own, not the leaders, not what they say to you, not what the tradition or commandments of men say, but what the word say, the word of Yahweh say. When you do what the word of Yahweh say, Yahweh will lift you up. Your enemies will be afraid of you. The world will know that you, wherever you stand, there is difference. You are a separated, you are a set apart person. You are a holy person. And whatever you speak out from your mouth happens. That is dread of you. That is the power that Yahweh injected, the spiritual power that you have been given, that works in you. Deuteronomy chapter 2, 25. I'm not making it up. It's not my word. It's the word of Yahweh. This is a power given to you in these last days. He said he will pour his spirit upon his people. And what he said here will be activated. Will be activated. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 25. That is what I've just called. I read it. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear report of thee and shall tremble and be in anguish because of you. Did you hear that? Brethren, it's time for us to stand and claim who we are. Not by mouth, not by, making it up, but by acting it out. By taking the responsibility of our office. We are peculiar people. We are the chosen people of Yahweh. We are the royal priest of Yahweh. The only condition for you to have his grace and be ready to enter into the kingdom is to hear his voice. When you read the word, you hear his voice and you obey it. When you do that, then be ready. Be ready. Because as you follow Yahshua, automatically you are an Israelite. You are a covenant keeper. You are a Nazarene. You are one that follows the way. You are the one that follows the way, the truth. And you are one that possesses life. The person that is taking the word of Yahweh for granted doesn't possess life. Doesn't, because tomorrow is crashing. Tomorrow is going to disappear. Tomorrow is going to be dust. Go back to dust. That is for the children of disobedience. That is for the children that are saying no to Yahweh today. They are going to perish. Yahweh will not spare them. Particularly Israelites. May Yahweh bless you. May Yahweh help you. May Yahweh give you knowledge and understanding. May Yahweh open your eyes into his word to read it. Give you ears to get understanding of what you have read. So that as you listen, you appropriate everything that he has said to you and you apply it. And may Yahweh help you with the grace. Give you the grace to do. To be a keeper of his word. A follower of YAHSHUA Messiah. So that whatever that is going to unleash on this earth, because there will be trouble, true problems will engulf the earth. Where will you be when you don't have the word of Yahweh? When you are not following Yahshua? When you are not keeping the word of Yahweh? Where will you be? The trouble is going to shake the earth to the point that, he said, men who had amassed fame, power, authority, they will cry like babies in the streets. They will put their hands on their head. They will be walking the streets. They will be walking endlessly. Say their gold and their silver, because they will be useless. Say they will not save them. We are busy chasing money from morning till night. The God of today, the kind God they made in the wilderness, that is what you are after. 24 hours, non-stop. You don't have time. Not even an hour or 2 hours. Pay attention to the word. Understand and know and be guided. It's our compass. Is what gives us direction. What is our call? What is our goal in this world? It's an ephemeral place. The world is perishing. The world is going. Yahshua is coming to cut off this world that is fading away. It's coming to remove it. To put us, to plant us in a permanent world. In a world that is not going to be destroyed. In a world that no evil, no sin, no sickness, no infirmity, no anguish, no trouble will become of anyone that follow him. The world that we are going to remain and live with him perpetually, from everlasting to everlasting. Why not cue into it? By hearing what he's saying, listening to his word, paying attention, doing what he commands you to do. Why not cue in? As you listen, I pray that the mercy of Yahweh will be upon you. The grace of Yahweh will be upon you. The love of Yahweh, indeed, you will embrace and follow and be part of this kingdom call. May you not look back. May you not be one that put hands in a plow and look back. May you continue to move forward and not backwards. May you continue to move forward and not sideways. May you continue to trust YAHSHUA Messiah, so that when the trumpet will sound, you will not be found wanting. Thank you, everlasting Father, for hearing us. In Yeshua's name we pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.